Good morning, beautiful people. It is about 7:30 in the morning. It's about 21 degrees out. And I'm going to take a little hike. It's not going to be that big. Probably about 3.5 miles. Coming around the outlet of Fork Lake and then coming around to the north side of the Big Manistique Lake in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. As you can tell, it's been a little snowy. And snow's just hanging on the trees. It's really beautiful. But on this hike, I'd like to talk about a couple pieces of new equipment that I'm trying out today. Of course, some Christmas stuff. And then just a couple thoughts for beginner hikers. Getting started hiking can be a little intimidating. Like if I told you, hey, let's go over here to the park and walk a little. I think most folks would be open to that, but there's something about hiking that sounds scary. So as I started getting into it and watching videos, I mean, people had gear and they're talking about equipment like this equipment, that equipment. I'm like, oh my goodness. All I have is a pair of winter boots and cotton socks. So the equipment and terminology was super intimidating. And what I want to encourage you as a beginner hiker is don't let that stop you. Just get out there and do it. I've seen some people out on the Appalachian Trail. They had all the bells and whistles, and they were not, for all practical purposes, good hikers. So why do we hike? I think every hiker would agree with the fact that we hike because of the views, hike because of the serenity and the solitude, and because you see things that you don't see when you're riding in a car. I just saw 3 deer. They moved too quick for me to get my phone out and capture them, but I don't always have to capture it on phone. Just being able to see it and enjoy it is reward enough sometimes. I learned early on to not fall in love with a particular brand, but rather for me, comfort is king. So one of the pieces of equipment I'm trying out today is this hat. And for years I've used a Carhart brand hat, and I like it. But the problem is I always have trouble with my hat shifting because of my hair. And when my hat shifts, then I find out that hat is in my eyes or it's creeping up off of my ears. So something new I'm trying today is a hat that is just simply a pull-on with no fold over. And I'm going to try that. I'm literally following a deer trail. How cool is that? Okay guys, a small pack seat from GCI. It fits nicely inside the side pocket of your backpack. Compacts into a nice little chair. And I'm going to show it for you. It has an expandable leg system with a nice sturdy top to it, and I've tried sitting on it. The bottom has these holders that are going to keep the seat on the top from spreading too far. It's very comfortable. It's hard on trail to find somewhere where you can sit down, stay dry. Oftentimes even somewhere you could pull this out and put your pack on it. And just keeping stuff dry, keeping your bum dry, especially if it's wet outside. It's nice to have something packable. It does add a little weight, but on a short trip, really, that probably would not be consequential. I can't stress how icy it is today. The roads are icy. I'm going to be climbing up probably about a 70-foot hill. And all the way here it was icy. There's a couple dips in the road, and I slipped a couple times. And that kind of weather can lay you up for the winter. if you break a foot, break an ankle, or even get some tears in your skeletal system. So today I'm trying out these black diamond hiking trekking poles, and I picked these up at, I think, Sportsman's Warehouse or something like that. A couple things about them that are different than the poles I've used before is that these have plastic handles instead of cork, and the cork is more comfortable, I'll be honest, but if you have gloves on in the winter, it's really not going to matter. One adjustment, which means they don't collapse as tight as some of the ones that have like, you know, 2 adjustments. But right away out of the package, with very minimal adjusting, I found that I could put them, clip them, and then what I do is I put my whole weight on it. I actually push with my palm. I'll push with my palm like this, putting my weight on it, and I could get both of them to adjust without sliding, which is different than the sticks that I'd used before. Also want to show you, to get them both the same size, these have marks on them, which is super helpful when you're trying to adjust both your sticks to be exactly the same height. I hope that helps. Not the fanciest sticks. I think I paid about 40 bucks for them, but they will work very, very well. I got them on sale. A lot of times you'll find these same sticks for about 60, 65 bucks. So wintertime is a great time to review your gear and look at what things you need to upgrade or add. Just after Christmas is a great time to sweeten up your pack when you find a lot of return items, or you find items that are going on sale because they're coming out with a new product for the new season. I hope those hiking, trekking pole tips help. So I hiked all the way down to the Big Manistique Lake, and as you can tell, it looks like we have some weather rolling in. But this is brand new ice, and it must be sturdy enough because I just saw a guy ride by in a snowmobile pulling his kid on a sled. So the ice must be strong enough for that, but I'm not a big fan of walking out on it. You have to be careful, especially on the edges. There's some wet spots, so nothing I would want to venture out on, but this is where I hiked to today. Got everything packed up. Now I'm going to head back. I love winter hiking. You don't have to have a ton of gear, so I wanted to show you a couple things that I'm wearing just so you know that it's not anything fancy. I'm wearing pants that I used this summer or end of summer hiking on the Appalachian Trail, and they're just synthetic, kind of a lightweight pant, and it's kind of icy out. And under those I have a pair of long johns that are a synthetic long john. They're, I think, Russell brand. I think somewhere between 12 to 15 bucks. Probably if you live somewhere where it's cold, you probably have that. Now, if you don't have those and you just have like a pair of lightweight synthetic sweatpants, those work very well and actually give even a little more insulation than these long johns would. But just make sure that putting that under your pants does not make the overall outfit tight, because if clothing is tight in the winter, you're going to get cold. Then for my top, where I normally run a little warm, I don't have a t-shirt on. I have like a mock turtleneck that's a micro fleece. I got it at Dunham's. I think I paid 12 bucks for it, and I just fell in love with it. It's what I used on my video of hiking up Mount Washington. That's the micro fleece that I'm wearing. It's very good, very warm. And then on top of that, I think I have just a knit. It's a cotton long sleeve shirt. And then I have this puffy jacket that I got at JCPenney's about, I don't know, 10 years ago, and I paid 15 bucks for it. So the point is this: you don't have to have a lot of money to invest into winter gear. Ordinarily, it's just stuff I'm working out of my normal wardrobe for winter stuff that works very well for hiking. As long as you're moving, you stay fairly warm. And of course, you saw in the video, a cup of coffee and a little thing of oatmeal on a break goes a long way to make you feel pretty warm. Well, I just turned the corner on the last leg of my hike. I can't stress enough that it is extremely icy. The county came and sanded this road, but I'll be honest, it's so cold that that sand is not really sticking very well to the ice. So my suggestion is, if you struggle with your balance, I wouldn't hike on something like this. And your trekking poles aren't going to keep you from slipping. And so what I do, if you have fairly good balance and want to go out like this, buy some either yak tracks, or if the ice is more aggressive, use some crampons. They work very well to navigate on the ice. But I'm using some Columbia hiking boots, and I've had pretty good success with them. I hiked up chimney tops a year ago when it was really icy, and I hiked early this fall on the Appalachian Trail. I hiked, I think, 2 or 3 pretty brutal days in the White Mountains with pretty good success on these shoes, so I'm comfortable and confident with them. Hey, word to beginners, just get out there and do it. Get out there, do a mile, do maybe a 2-mile loop, and start going from there. And don't be intimidated. A lot of the terminology or even equipment talk, don't let that scare you off from hiking. Just get out there and do it, and you may discover that you really enjoy it. And as you do it, you're going to build confidence, and as you build that confidence, then you'll plan a little bit longer hikes. And I hope that you'll reach out to somebody, get a little encouragement, maybe hike with somebody that is a more seasoned hiker, and that'll get you rolling for sure. Till next time, we'll see you later. If you've not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe link and follow me for more winter hiking.